Happy Monday, fun day, everybody. I just updated the name of the show to Major League Meeples. Board gamers talking about baseball. That's what we're doing here. It's going to be Dodger-centric, of course, because I'm a Dodger fan, but I'm more than happy to learn and talk about your teams as well. I follow the Dodgers, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not. Many years ago, I was hardcore into sports, following. I did all the fantasy sports. I did all kinds of sports. I was actually my original plan when I was a younger man was to get into sports journalism. I had a fast track to the LA Times. I was sports editor of my college paper. I enjoyed it a lot. I had a lot of fun, but eventually I realized I didn't want to do it as a living. But I still have a passion for it. I'm just not as hardcore into sports as now because I'm more into board games, as you can tell. But I still have a shared love of the Dodgers with my family and friends and whatnot. So let's talk some baseball, shall we? So I'm going to go for about a half hour or so. This is the premiere episode. So welcome to the premiere episode of Major League Meeples, Board Gamers Talking About Baseball. We may come up with a new name. We'll see. But what I want to do is, of course, talk about baseball. And we're going to lead things off with my Los Angeles Dodgers. They just completed a sweep of the Atlanta Braves, which was absolutely amazing. It's been a heck of a month and a half or so since the season started, and it's been there's been some ups and downs like any regular major league season. And of course, with the Dodgers, we're looking at, hey, we need to point everything towards the postseason because the last couple of years have been pretty big failures as far as getting swept by our rivals, the Padres and the D-backs. And that's why you go out and spend over $1 billion in free agents and making trades and whatnot. Shohei Ohtani, what else can I say? I absolutely, just like every other person in LA, sports fans, we are loving what this guy brings to the team. And it's really cool to watch him up close. Well, up close as far as a fan is concerned, every day. He is watching him take his at bats. It's amazing. It's so hard to get this guy out. He hits stuff inside, outside. Even his weakness that they say you pitch him, tight inside. He's knocking those things as well. And yesterday was a prime example. Like he went opposite field, 400. What was it? I don't know how long. It was one of the longest home runs of his career. 460, I thought 450, I don't know, but opposite field, just the power, and it's amazing to see him every day. So, Zakun Games, I consider myself a casual sports fan. How we're going? Yes, absolutely, Zakun. I love that too, and we were so thrilled to go on Saturday night. We had a very gracious host. We had some tickets gifted to us, Michelle and I, and going to Dodger State games is not cheap. So shout out to our friends who hooked us up with tickets and parking, which was amazing. But yeah, going to baseball games is so wonderful. It's even when I'm not a hardcore sports fan anymore. I love going to the park. It really is a day at the park and just enjoying it. You can eat and hang out with your friends, and it's so chill. And I love it. So anytime I get to the ballpark is a good day or a great day. Bing is in the house. Hi, Bing. Cubs fan there. Yeah, I have a real soft spot for the Cubs now, because I was able to go to Wrigley Field for the first time. I've shared this with a lot of you who are regular followers of mine, and seeing Wrigley Field in person and watching a game there was a special treat. And I have friends who are Cubs fans, and back in the day, I was like Dodgers, Dodgers, Dodgers only, and my team's only. But now I can appreciate sports a little bit more as far as like casual fans are concerned. I want if my team's not going to win, I will happily root on for your team, just as long as it's not against my team, right? So yeah, folks, let us know what your teams are. We'll be happy to give them a shout out. I'm just going to wrap up the quick month here at Dodger Baseball. We started in Seoul, Korea, which was a trip. It was a little earlier. It was really weird for me to see. We have 2 regular season games a week before the regular season starts. So it was like 2 regular season games, and then you go to the exhibition game schedule against the Angels for the Freeway Series. So it's sort of weird. But yeah, things were really shaky for Yamamoto. That was our other big free agent signing, right? And He got rocked in his first start, but he's quickly righted the ship and he looks outstanding. It's like now watching him, was like, okay, now this is why you pay this guy all this money. He's got all the pitches, his command is amazing, and he throws some strikes, folks. So really happy to see that. On Saturday, Michelle and I, when we went to the Dodger game, we got to see Tyler Glasnow, which was a thrill. He is our ace. He's awesome. Again, just throwing 10 strikeouts in a game, that's no joke. So really cool to see. And for me personally, and a lot of Dodger fans, our MVP right now, Mookie Betts. He to do what he's doing at the major league level is nothing short of super impressive. He goes from playing the outfield to last year taking some games at second base to fill in needs, and I think that's a testament to the way he approaches the game. He loves the game. You could just I loved watching Mookie play baseball more than any other player I've enjoyed watching over a lot of years of sports fandom. I talk to a lot of the old timers. They say the same thing about Mookie. He plays the game like Willie Mays. He's got the joy of coming to the park every day, and you can see it. And for him to take on like arguably the second most difficult position in the infield, but outside of catcher, to go to shortstop, which he hasn't played since like high school, at the major league level, to do that is super impressive. And again, it shows the type of commitment he has to the team. Willing, he could have easily said, "Hey, I'm one of the highest paid players on the team. I don't need to do what I don't want to do. I'm gonna play. I want to stay in the outfield or whatever." And no, he's taking his lumps. I mean, spring training, there were some really rough moments, and even in the regular season, there's been some errors, and this is not what you expect to see from an all-star player. But you know what, folks? He is doing it. He is solid at shortstop now. Is he an all-star at that position? No, but I'm not going to say he won't be. I mean, he's getting some great mentoring from Miguel Rojas, outstanding shortstop, if not a big hitting shortstop. But man, Mookie looks great, and he's still doing it. His offense is great. I mean, he is just so fired up here. We're looking at the schedule on MLB.com. I just got something here on MLB.com looking at the games. I was going to go back and sort of I'm giving you sort of overview of what happened here. The Dodgers they went on a pretty bad losing streak at home during the season. I mean, early on the season, gotta love this as Dodgers fans, sweeping the Giants, which was great. We did lose the series at Chicago. We're just talking about Bing's team. Go Cubs. Again, I have a soft spot for the Cubs, mainly because I love Cody Bellinger as a Dodger, and to see him revive his career at Chicago is really cool to see. We took 2 out of 3 against the Twins, and lost against the Nationals, which was surprising. That's when we really had a tough time of it. So we lose 2 or 3 of the Padres, lose 2 or 3 of the Nationals. People are starting to lose their stuff. Lose 2 or 3 of the Mets. Again, not the best homestand, but we go to the road and start riding the ship, and things are starting to click for the Dodgers. And what, excuse me, and what's interesting is the Dodgers, we've seen different players carry the team, right? So most of the struggles, I feel like, have been in the bullpen, of course, and the bottom half of the lineup. The 6, 7, 8, 9 hitters have not been strong. However, the Dodgers now won, I think it's like 10 out of 12. We just swept the best team, quote unquote. They were the best team in the league, the Braves. We just swept them, and we dominated in 2 of the 3 games. Although yesterday, give it up for Fried of the Braves. He pretty basically no hit every other Dodger except for Teoscar Hernandez and Shohei Ohtani, but he got rocked by both of them. And then Shohei had the 2-run blast. Teo did too. And then later on against the reliever, Shohei had a single home run. So, anyways, I know Dave Roberts was talking. They're not talking about making a statement at this early stage of the season, as far as, hey, we're going against the best team in the league. This is a team we may see in the postseason. But, message has been sent. The Dodgers are back. Things are starting to fire on all cylinders. We're starting to get our pitchers back, which is nice. Blake Trinan one of our big relievers back in the day. Hasn't been around for almost 2 years. And he was back last night, looked great. Today, big news. Walker Buehler is back after 2 years, after a second Tommy John surgery. He's looked pretty decent in rehab, but again, the real test comes today. I'm so excited. I'm so glad to see him back. I mean, coming back from, huge surgery like that is a big thing. So very, very excited for Walker Buehler and the Dodgers. Zach Coon Games, hi. Maybe slightly board game related, but have you ever scored a game the old-fashioned way? Yes. Excuse me. I have, and I love it. Folks, if you're a old school baseball score card fan, let me know in chat. Fun story, Zach. So I share a love of baseball with the brothers Murph. My brothers from another mother. They are Giants fans, which is funny because I'm a Dodger fan, but I still love Nick and Mike to death. Michelle and I joined them for a Dodger game last year, and it was the worst game I've ever seen in person. The Dodgers lost to the Giants 15-1 or 50. I'm trying to block it out of my mind. Michelle and I, because of LA traffic, we had another engagement that night, so we tried to do both. Well, we did both, but of course we got stuck in traffic going into Dodger Stadium after our first event. We showed up at the game. We were at the parking lot. The game had started, so we're listening on the radio. And by the time we sat down in our seats, the Dodgers were down like 3-0. We're like, what the heck? It was only second inning. And then it got worse from there. It was just comedy by that point. But if we're gonna watch the Dodgers get slaughtered, I'll be happy for Nick and Mike and their family. It was a fun time. It's all about hanging out with them. Anyways, long story, even longer. Mike Murphy and I scored a game, not the Dodger game we're talking about, but 2 years ago at Gen Con. There is a team right across the street called the Indianapolis Indians. Unfortunate name, but what are you going to do? They are the minor league affiliate, I think. Was it for the, not the Cubs? Was it the Pirates? I forget. But they were, I believe, a AAA affiliate or AA. And wonderful stadium. If you ever get to go, it's Indianapolis, that baseball team. That stadium was built by the same architect that did Camden Yards in Baltimore. So it's got a lot of like similar feel, just on a smaller scale. Oh, it was so great. And so Mike and I, we scored the baseball game there. People were nerdy. We were nerding out. And we had some friends who had never been to a baseball game, or it was like one of the first or second times. Most of our friends who are from out of the U.S., which was a real treat. And they're all, what are you guys doing? Is that like a roll and write game for baseball? I'm like, no, we're scoring the game. So we explained to him. I love scoring the game. It's something I thought about doing at the Dodger game, but I forgot. It's one of those things. If I think about it, I'll do it. I really enjoy it, but it's not something I have to do every time. But it's so much fun. And I actually have a book on the history of scoring games, which is around here somewhere. I want to read it again. It's been a while since I read it. No stupid question. I take it Dodgers and Giants are rivals. Yes, they are. Core thing. Excuse me. For those, I mean, again, this is a super casual. This is not a hardcore baseball podcast, folks. This is just me sharing my love of the Dodgers and the sport of baseball. If you're asking, if you don't know, folks, the Giants and Dodgers are big time rivals, and that's dates back to their time in New York. They're both originally New York teams. It was the New York Giants and the Brooklyn Dodgers. So it's like got that the neighborhood rivalry, and then when the Dodgers moved to LA and the Giants moved to San Francisco, that rivalry was kept intact, and it's fun. It's North California, Southern California type rivalry. Oh, Bing says they're minor league AAA for Pirates. Thank you. The name actually was requested to remain by the Dodgers people. Oh, okay, cool. I know one of the higher ups in the tribe. She requested the name remain in honor, as an honor to them. Yeah, and I know that's again. I mean, I get it. I'm not. I don't want to speak for the indigenous people of any tribe. So again, if they're if the team's doing right by them, then who am I to say, right? I just know growing up here, at least in my experience, it was it's that name is how do you say it? Controversial, I guess. Zekun says, I've only done it once and enjoy it, but I think it took away from the friend time. Want to get a game solo and do it again. You know what's funny, Zakun? Let me sip my coffee. Many years ago, um, I had gone through a divorce many, many, many moons ago. And one of the things I was doing at the time, as I was struggling, I would go to my local ballpark, which at the time it wasn't. It was just like a semi-pro team. I would go there and score games. I would just go to a game just after work, chill, and it was so nice to just be outside. And I would just score games. I love doing that, and there's times when I would actually be home and just score the Dodger games and stuff. It's a fun little exercise. But I agree with you. When you're at the game itself, like I want to hang out with friends, and when I can, I'll score and hang out and chat. But for the most part, I don't score every game. But it is so much fun. You got me thinking here. Maybe I'll score the game tonight because there's a Dodger game tonight. Walker Buehler's coming back tonight, so we're super stoked. B Travis, a roll and write game that uses a. See, now that's an idea. Someone, please come up with that. I would play that in a heartbeat. Yeah. It makes it's a controversial thing. I agree. Apparently both tribes support it. Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm wondering, like here in California, I'm pretty sure that name wouldn't fly here anymore. Like, no way. I don't think it would fly. But again, it's different for everyone, and just want to respect people, right? Let's look at the standings. I am going to go over here to the standings. We were talking about the, what is it? The Braves. Again, another, I feel, problematic name. But the Atlanta baseball team, they were first place, but no longer. We have I think it's the Orioles were pretty good this year, right? They're doing all right. But the Dodgers at 23-13, now at 5.5 on the Padres. The Phillies have been hot, so basically, thanks to the Dodgers, Phillies, you're welcome. You are now in first place by 2.5 games. Excuse me. You got the Brewers, the Baltimore Orioles. Yep, they're just ahead of the Yankees, and the Guardians, and the Seattle Mariners. So, I just go through the teams here, and it's really cool because I can name, think of friends, especially friends in the board game industry who are excuse me, baseball fans, and I see a lot of their teams here, so very cool. Lucho AB, hello. Hey, Ruel, how have you been? What's the next part of your list you'd like to visit? Never been to a game in the States. Oh, Lucho, if you're ever in LA, let's go to Dodger Stadium, my friend. I would love to visit PNC. You know what? The next stadium is, it's on my bucket list, of course. So I've been to Wrigley. I've got to go to Fenway Park, of course. Now, it's a funny thing because being an LA fan, it's just in my blood, my DNA to like root against Boston fans because of basically the LA Lakers Boston Celtics rivalry. But again, I can appreciate the Red Sox and teams now. I think at least as I've gotten older, those sort of things fade away, shall we say. Yeah, so I would say Fenway Park is up there. One cool thing, I would like to see the new Yankee Stadium. Lucho, one cool thing, I was able to go to the old Yankee Stadium. Shout out to my friend Big Ryan, rest in peace. He took me to my first Yankee games it's been decades ago. Wow, it's been a long time. Unfortunately, he passed away a couple of years ago. But he used to live in the Bronx. He was a diehard Yankees fan. So going with him to the game was like the best experience ever. We went to I forget the name of the bar. It was right across the street from the old Yankee Stadium, the house that Ruth built. That bar, everyone would go there. We had our drinks, and then we walked in, sat in the bleachers with the right field. They had a name for that crew, but they were great. Bought a shirt, had my first New York hot dog there. Such a great experience. Yes, Fenway and Dodgers are high on the list too, even though the Sox ain't popular. And yeah, that's the thing. I wouldn't. Again, I'm not a Red Sox fan, but I do want to see. There's a lot of history in these stadiums, right? So I would like to go to PNC. I would like to go. I love those folks that go to every baseball stadium. That's just their thing. And I always tell Michelle I'd love to do something like that, but it's tough, money wise and schedule wise and whatnot. But so that's one thing I try to do when I go out on these trips for my board game work. Whatever city I'm in for the convention or event, I always look and see if there's a minor league team around, or even a professional team, or a major league. If I can do it, then I will go and just take a couple of hours off sneak away and go catch a game, whether by myself or with friends that are also into baseball. And actually, now to think about it, I think I've gone to I've never gone by myself, thankfully. I've always run into either friends who are into baseball or friends who are curious about baseball. So the last time I went was back in September last year, the World Series of Board Gaming in Las Vegas. They have the Las Vegas Aviators. So they're the AAA for the soon-to-be Las Vegas team, Oakland A's. So that was a real treat. I got to go with Dave Luza and his friend Matt, and that was a real treat. B Travis, absolutely. I would love to go. Weisberg Games, go Cubs, go. I'm assuming this is Derek. Derek, if this is you, welcome on in, or it could be Deb or Robert. Thank you. If it's Derek, I would love to talk to you about baseball sometime here on the show. This is something I'm going to be doing every now and then. I say it monthly, but I don't want to schedule. It's super casual Major League Baseball, Major League Meeples, board gamers talking about baseball. And this is just a fan's perspective. I just, y'all know I love baseball, and I love talking about the Dodgers, of course. So Lucho's talking about, yes, there. Oh, Risto Pisto lost some money thanks to Dodgers. I blame streamers who say Dodgers. Your your finances are your finances, my friend. I take no responsibility for anything. I wonder, what'd you lose it on? Was it probably the over? I'm guessing you lost on the over yesterday, because I don't think, again, I don't condone gambling. This is not a gambling channel. I may have placed quite a few wagers back in the day, but again, it's one of those things I did as a younger man, and I'm not really into it anymore. And as you can see, I mean, we're not even going to talk about the Dodgers scandal that happened, but all I know is that Shohei is innocent. That's the most important thing. Derek, yes, yeah, would love to join you. Let's. I'll ping you, Derek. Folks, you don't know, Derek Funkhauser over at Wise Wizards Games, huge baseball fan, big Cubs fan, and I would love to talk to him about his experiences this season, because we got the Cubbies right there in first place. Well, basically first place tie with the Milwaukee Brewers, and the Dodgers owe the Cubs they lost. It was 2 out of 3 earlier this year, so hopefully they'll get their act together for the next series. So, what else about the Dodgers? I talked about a little bit about their season so far. Again, I would love to do this bi-weekly or monthly, but I'm not going to promise anything just because I know my board game schedule is insane. But I figure this is a good warm-up for my 9 o'clock show, which is Ruel's wrap-up. So, folks, hang out, and then this becomes Tabletop Tonight, and I'm going to talk about the games I played in April. And then I do a companion show, where I talk about the games that you played in April. So it's Ruel's wrap-up and what you played. 2 different things I record here live on Twitch, put it on YouTube, and I would love to hear what games you play. So we'll get to that in just a second, because we're hanging out talking about baseball. One thing I wanted to do as well, so we talked about, let me see, I talked about Mookie Betts, he's the MVP right now. Shohei Ohtani, the greatest player ever. I'd love, next year's even going to be better. When he starts pitching, oh my goodness. Come on, folks. I mean, it's Babe Ruth. It's our generation's Babe Ruth. I talked about Mookie Betts being the MVP. Bullpen issues. That's the big thing about the Dodgers right now. We could use a left-handed reliever. Vessier, he's okay, but yeah, he's got issues. But getting Blake Trinan back, even though he's a righty, he's solid. Joe Kelly, shout out to Joe Kelly, folks. He has been pretty solid, in his role. He's, again, like a lot of the Dodger games, he took it on the chin early, but he's really been solid lately. So when Joe comes in, he's throwing some heat, and he's locking games down, which is great to see. But we still need some bullpen help. The defense, that was a big question mark coming in, right? Spring training, Gavin Lux basically lost his job at shortstop. He got the yips. I don't know. Maybe it's just not his position. He's great at second base, but that was supposed to be Mookie. And, we have Rojas and Kike as backup options. But again, Kike and Rojas, their bats are nowhere near what Mookie Betts brings. So that's why we got to keep Mookie in the game. And thank goodness for Mookie being able to say, hey, I'll take shortstop. And the defense has gotten better. Max Muncy, I think he is what he is. He's a solid he's a solid third baseman. I don't, definitely not all-star level. He's but you know, I like the Dodger infield. The outfield's fantastic. And I'm just gonna say this: Andy Pages, he is the real deal. Wow, he has been extraordinary. And again, if we're looking at very early rookie of the year candidates, we've got two of them, folks. The Dodgers, and I say we because we're all Dodger fans, right? No, I will talk about your teams as well, but Dodger fans, we are stoked. We've got two legit, very early rookie of the year candidates in Andy Pages and Yoshinobu Yamamoto. They look fantastic. So Bing says, I've been to Fenway, Great American, PNC, Busch, Wrigley, and wow, and Truist. That's a great list right there. Again, Fenway's on my list, man. I would love to go sometime. And oh yeah, Bing, Wise Wizard, a fellow Cubs fan. Zakun says, I see the Dodgers play my Guardians in September. Hopefully it means something for... Oh, yeah. Nice. That I will be thinking about you, Zach. You know, hopefully we'll be still doing the show then. I'm sure we will. And we'll have more to talk about when that comes up. Let's do something a little fun. This is another thing I wanted to do. And let me throw this on the screen here. Oops, nope, that's not it. So, of course, I'm talking about Dodgers. That's all I'm talking about right now. But I wanted to share, you know, those... You know, we do the whole, like, there's, like, this day in baseball, that type of thing. I want to talk about Bobo Holloman. Who is Bobo Holloman? Glad you asked, Ruel. I had no idea who Bobo was until I found out that on this day, May 6th, in 1953, Bobo Holloman of the St. Louis Browns pitched a 6-0 no-hitter against the Philadelphia Athletics in his very first major league start. That does not happen very often. It's really interesting, right? He was a reliever. He pitched a few games, but in his very first start in the majors, he threw a no-hitter, which I forget. I should have looked this up. I don't remember how many times it's been done. Not many, but you know, he had a minor league career, major league career. Here's the funny fact about this: Bobo, after his no-hitter, first complete game, his first major league game, his first no-hitter, first complete game. He never threw another complete game in his career. That was it. He was done. Just one of those things where all the stars aligned for his first start at the majors. And he had a very short career, played for about a year in the majors, and then ended up, I forgot what he did. I think he ended up driving a truck for a while and then started his own business. Yep. As a result of pitching too frequently while playing winter ball, his arm tired, became a truck driver, ran an advertising agency, later served as a scout for the Orioles. He struggled with alcoholism, died May 1st, 1987 at the age of 64 as a result of a heart attack. So this day in history, in baseball history, is all about Bobo Holloman. So throws a no-hitter, your first start. I mean, how crazy is that? Now, one of the things that I did was when I researched this, again, just very light research, the manager at the time, I forgot who it was the manager or the sports writer? They were talking about how that no-hitter was basically, he was getting hit around, but the defense was like stellar. They saved a couple of fly balls and a couple of really nice plays at the infield, which basically gave Bobo the no-hitter. So it was one of those things, hey, it wasn't like the strongest, like, it wasn't like a near perfect game or anything. It just, all the stars aligned. And I love the name, Bobo Holloman. So Alva Lee Holloman, rest in peace. And that is your day in baseball history. And yeah, as B. Travis says, that's totally making the most of your opportunity, right? I mean, you step up and how cool is that? First, his career, he didn't have a very long career, wasn't very successful after that. And so still pretty cool to say, hey, I was at the major league level and I got to throw no-hitter. So very, very cool. Risto is asking, is baseball career similar to football, that after a career many that go bankrupt? I know there have been, I don't know, I think, honestly, I'm not sure. Well, number one, though, I don't think the money is as big as football, or at least the upfront money, right? Because football, I mean, it's the biggest sport, so they're going to have the biggest salaries. I think on average, why don't we look this up? Average MLB salary. As of right now, the average... No, that's not right. Is it? Okay. Average MLB salary rose 7% to record $4.5 million last year. No way. Really? Wow. Okay. So apparently the average this is according to AP News, the average baseball salary is $4.5 million. Wow, that is interesting. So what's the average NFL salary? Um, NFL salary. Depending on position, they have a bunch of different positions, of course. Well, I guess I mean baseball does too. Wow, I would have guessed that the NFL was paid more. It says here again. I'm just doing super, just whatever I find on research. The research is like on Reddit. MLB 4.0. Okay, this is last year. 4 million a year for MLB, Major League Baseball. NFL, I would have guessed was more, but they're at 3.26. Wow. And then NBA is 8.3. Now, of course, with MLB, I think no, NFL has the highest. Maybe that's why they have the biggest rosters. They have like 53-man roster. MLB has 26. Then NBA has like I think 12 or 15. But wow. So as far as I hear all the stories from NFL and NBA players, I'm not sure about MLB. I know there are folks that have gone broke in the MLB, definitely, but maybe I don't. I just don't hear it as much. Zach says, I feel basketball has the worst financials. Yeah, post career. That's probably the problem. Football, poor kids getting too rich too fast. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's with any sport, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, even hockey. Because there's all kinds of stories of kids who get rich too quick. They surround themselves with the wrong people. And honestly, I or what I remember reading recently was that the NBA was starting to do some kind of like incoming program for rookies, like financial classes, which I think anyone at any age should be taking. I mean, my finances are a little shaky, and that's because of some of the bad lessons I learned when I was younger. Hello, credit cards. And I like to see that professional athletes are starting to be, I hopefully a little more financially aware. But then again, look, perfect example, Shohei Otani. He had no idea what his translator was doing, right? Freaking losing millions and millions of dollars. That's crazy. Mopop, yo, happy Monday. Good to see you. Imagine Eric, hello. Good to see you as well. We're talking baseball for another few minutes, and then I'm going to take a quick break, finish my breakfast, and drink a little more coffee, take a cough drop or two, and then we're going to talk about board games. So if you're here for the first time, folks, thank you so much for hanging out with me. It's actually a very different for me to be doing this. This is Major League Meeples, the temporary name of this. Maybe we'll stick with it. Major League Meeples, board gamers talking baseball. I noticed over the years, I've been in the game industry, board game industry. It's been great connecting with a lot of my fellow baseball nerds and fans. And obviously, I root for one team, the Dodgers, of course. And I want to just hang out and chat, super casual. This is not like a super fan podcast. We're not going to get diehard into stats or whatnot or fantasy sports. I used to play fantasy sports. I used to gamble. This was many years ago. Again, if you do it, more power to you. But this is just super casual. I would probably call this more along the lines of I'd like to share the stories, right? So again, Michelle and I just went to Dodger Stadium, one of my all-time favorite places in the world. I love Dodger Stadium. Michelle treated me 2 years ago on my birthday to a tour of Dodger Stadium. It's one of those things as a fan you can do. You go, you pay a little money, and then they take you on a tour of the inside of the stadium, like all the levels that you can't get to as the public. So getting to go into the visitors bullpen. Usually they'll take you into the dugout, but the day that we went, they actually had a young prospects game going on. It was like college all stars and also other prospects. So they had a scrimmage going on, so we can go to the dugout. But seeing Dodger Stadium that way was like one of my life's goals. So that was again, shout out to Michelle for such a wonderful treat. I want to go again actually, to actually sit in the dugout and whatnot. But as you've seen here, excuse me, I love baseball and I love talking about it with y'all. Imagine Eric, cool hat, yes. The Quakes, Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, my hometown team, and the single A affiliate for our Los Angeles Dodgers, folks. B Travis, any baseball video games you'd like to play? You know what, B Travis, I haven't played. So I don't really play video games. But I played the show, but that was like the version that came out years ago. Funny story about that. My nephew, hardcore, diehard baseball fan. He plays for his high school team. His actually career is coming to an end real soon here. He's going to be graduating soon. I remember playing the show with him, and he beat me, and he was legit good. I mean, he was a lot younger, but then he would play his sister. I'll never forget his sister. The very first pitch threw at him, and he got so upset. I was like, "Oh my gosh, he is super mad." I thought they were gonna brawl right there in the living room, and it was funny to me. But I'm at the same time like, "Hey, let's just a video game. Let's just chill. Don't throw at your brother." But I'm like cracking all the time. It's like, man, we're gonna have a brawl right here in the living room. Hilarious. And I think about that. My nephew, also like we used to play Mario baseball, and when he was little, this was like, he was like maybe 3 years old. Was it Mario Baseball the Wii? So he had the little Wii bat, and he was like, he would play hours of that. I'm like, don't you want to play something? He's like, no, let's play more baseball. I'm like, okay, so I played a lot of Mario Baseball back in the day. So good times. Big yes, ballpark tours are the best. I love them. Ooh, Magic Era's got the hookup. Nice. Friends taking me to the Reds game tomorrow on company tickets, club seats. Oh man, that's the best. When you get treated like that. So Michelle and I were treated not quite the company thing, but we a friend of ours has season tickets. They weren't using them. It was in the reserve levels. It was great. We were just blown away because we had parking. And normally Dodger Stadium, it's huge. I mean, that stadium holds like over 50,000 people. So you can imagine how big the parking lot is. And we usually just do general parking, which is way out there. I mean, it's a walk. You get your exercise, which is fine. But having the reserve parking of a season ticket holder, like literally parking and then walking 20 feet to the gate, I'm like, Michelle, we may have to do this from now on. We were spoiled. It was a real treat. And we got to see a great game. We got to see Glasnow throw 10 strikeouts. Oh, fun fact. Okay, so for your teams, what's your do you have like a promotion for like fast food or anything? So we have two here. The first one is really well known. The Dodgers, whenever the Dodgers throw 7 strikeouts combined over a game, then you get a free jumbo jack at Jack in the Box with a purchase of a large drink. Buy a large drink, and because here in Southern California, everyone just gets a free jumbo jack. I'm not a fan of Jack in the Box, so I don't take advantage of that. I just found out that Panda Express, after every Dodgers home win, you get a $5 Panda plate. I like Panda Express. I call it McPanda. It's like, fast food Chinese food. Like it's the McDonald's of Chinese food. I'm perfectly fine with it. I know some people don't like it. Totally cool. Not my favorite, but for $5, that plate is normally, I looked it up. It was here in California. It's over $11 for a plate. So to get over 50% off, go Dodgers. So guess where Michelle and I are going to dinner tonight because the Dodgers swept the Braves. So we're going to take advantage of that. Folks, I'm going to wrap it up. It's about quarter to the hour. What I'm going to do is take a break, reset here. I'm going to take off the Dodger gear, and I'm going to eat a quick thing here. I'll put the Be Right Back screen. Actually, I may shut down the stream just because I think I have to restart OBS because it's acting a little funny here. But we're going to talk about board games. I'm going to do Ruel's wrap-up. I talk about the games that I played last month. Then we're going to record right after that what you played. So hang out with me. Let's talk about the games that you played as well. Let's check out this. Magic Air says, I think ours is 9+ strikeouts. Get a free individual pizza. Whoa, nice, from La Rose. See, I like that too. Any local thing, Panda Express and Jump or Jack in the Box, not really local, but I'll take the Panda Express. I need to dig around more. I at least here where I live, we don't get. It's all the national stuff, unfortunately, for promotions. Hey, Mo, what's going on? Yeah, we're talking baseball right now. We will talk about board games real soon here. Deanne says, gotta admit, I'm not up on Dodgers new right now. Phillies fan, thanks. Oh, no worries. I was just talking about that, Deanne. I was saying, hey, congrats to all the Phillies fans for taking our first place because of the Dodgers sweep. But, hey, let me know how y'all like this. If you can, or if you'd like to, join our Discord. And thank you for first time chatting, Deanne. Appreciate you. We have a family-friendly Discord. We talk about board games, baseball, nerd stuff, non-nerd stuff, our fur babies, and all kinds of stuff. Join the Discord there. Let me know how you like this. Should I do this once every 2 weeks or so, or once a month? As we saw, Derek Funkhauser from Wizard Games was here earlier. I'd love to talk to him about baseball. He's great, and he's a Cubs fan. Again, this isn't a Dodger specific thing. This is just a joy and passion for baseball. Whenever I travel, I try to hit up a minor league game wherever I'm in town. Of course, I root for the Dodgers, but I enjoy a good game. So why don't we take a break? Y'all get hydrated. I'm going to get hydrated as well. DNA says, was late today, but absolutely interested in talking baseball. Oh, awesome. Perfect. This is for you. Magic Derek says, Cubs fan, yuck. Okay, we can all get along, but yes, go Dodgers, go Cubs, go Reds, or whoever you may be rooting for, folks. But thanks for hanging out. Again, quick break. I'm going to leave the stream running. I may shut it down and restart it in a bit, depending on how OBS treats me. But at 9 a.m. in exactly 13 minutes, we go back live to talk about board games. Thank you again. Join the Discord. Let me know what you think. And I will see y'all